What has worked on your white belt will definitely not work on your blue belt. As you go up on the ranks in Jiu-Jitsu, the resistance will increase and you need new strategies and to be looking to new cues to apply your moves. I'm not saying you to forget about the things that you learn as a white belt. That's not the point. What we need now is to look for different reactions from our opponents to build a game, to build a strategy. And this is when you really start to take people better than you, because you don't need to fight them on their field of action. You can actually choose where you're gonna go based on your own strategy. Once you start to have a game, then Jiu-Jitsu becomes way more fun and you're gonna also have more success. I want to work today with you 3 different scenarios that we're gonna build a little game in each one of them for you. Things that we're gonna be looking in those positions are not the things that you're usually gonna learn in class. We're gonna look for new cues to apply a winning strategy in your game. Let's jump into it. We're gonna use first one sweep that it's taught on your first day in Jiu-Jitsu, but we're gonna change how we're gonna attack after we get there. So the hip bump sweep usually doesn't work. And doesn't work because it's very predictable. But what if I can connect the hip bump sweep with my attacks on top? And this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start to come up, going to the hip bump sweep, but just to have that hand pose. And once we have that, we're gonna climb and shoot for a trap triangle. This is where we're gonna start to watch the head of our opponent. So instead of choosing the triangle at all costs, I'm gonna see what he gives to me. So if the head stays low, or I can bring the head down, 100% I continue on the first plan and I finish with my triangle. If his head starts to come up and posture a bit, I'm gonna start to chase the leg to cut the corner and switch to an armbar. But if his head starts to move away because he's trying to defend the triangle, I'm just gonna pass this hand to the pocket and pass my leg over the top, getting to an omoplata setup where I can sit, start to move up, bring him to the ground, and work for my omoplata finish. So this we can turn a very ineffective sweep that relies a lot in momentum and timing into a sequence of attacks that no matter which reaction your opponent gives, you have something to attack. If the way that we're making connections in this video is making sense for you, I put it the same framework that I teach my students in a free guide that it's available for download on the description of this video. Now let's get back to it. Now, one of the first passes that you're gonna learn as a white belt are the bull passes. Pretty much just trying to throw legs to the side so you can work on your pass. They work very good on your first months, especially if you're dealing with another white belt, but going up on the ranks, we gotta be a bit more sophisticated, because every time that we throw legs, good players are gonna use their frame to stop us and recover the guard. So I'm gonna close the distance on my opponent now and start to kill his options to off balance and defend. And we can get that by forcing a position that we call headquarters. So look, I'm not dealing with his feet anymore. All that I'm dealing is with his knees and chin. And I'm gonna find a way to put myself in this position that his feet cannot come back. If he tries to bring his feet back to me, I can use my elbow. If he tries to bring this one, I'm using my hand and my arm. This position can take different setups. I can be a little bit more upright. I can be more like sitting on him. And this is where we start to get the reactions that we want. Let's pay attention to this knee here, okay? So if I have this knee on the outside of my body, it gets hard to drive him that way, but very easy for me to start to go with my knee across and work on my knee slice pass. So you can see knee slice is probably a position that you already know, but the way that we are setting up here is creating a reaction that leads into that. Back to the headquarters now. The knee is not out because now he knows that I want to go to headquarters, so he starts to bring the knee in. It gets very hard to go that way. What I'm gonna try to do is to smash his knees together. So I'm gonna start to go down and sprawl on that leg. Once I have knees together, I can push, go over the top, and get my pass, or even the back moving to the other side. And the third one, it's also one of those basic passes, but we're gonna put in a system. So now I'm here, he's very aware of the positions of the knee. So when I try to cross, he closes the knee. When I try to smash, he opens the knee. And this is where I'm gonna start to work to move a little bit to the side and actually bring my arm under his leg when the other arm is going over. We get to an over and under pass now. Once I'm connected, I can walk to free my leg, getting to the side. No new passes required in your game. You're just putting them together in a way that the reactions that they give you leads to effective position to pass. So we stop to look to individual passes and we are looking to a system of reactions that take you to the pass. Now, a standing situation. It can get very challenging to put on the ground when you don't have very sharp takedown yet. So what are we gonna look down? It's for the takedown, but also a reaction that we get from there. So one of the most common grips are gonna be the collar tie. What we're gonna do here, instead of just trying to get rid of it, we're gonna turn this into a favorite grip for us. So I go one on the wrist, one on the shoulder, and now I have my 2-on-1. I have his arm, now I'm gonna work on my ultimata. So I take one penetration step with my back leg, and I'm gonna throw the leg in the middle and throw my hip. If I can get him on the ground, awesome. But you can see that Jared has a free hand, and what's probably gonna happen is him posting that free hand on the ground. I don't take him to the ground, but I have his head lower than my armpits. This is when we can connect front head and arm and start to take them to the ground. And then from here, I can engage into attacks on the front head and arm like guillotine, dashes, anacondas, or elect to go behind him. So if you're a blue belt, you probably know all the movements that I taught you here. What I'm trying to bring new is a way to connect them. So you stop to force positions and actually try to connect them based on the reactions that your opponent gave. This is the very distinction between someone new in Jiu-Jitsu and a black belt. It's your decision-making process in any problem that you face. And if you enjoyed the video, I'm sure that you're gonna enjoy the way that I connect positions on the front head and arm, just like I'm doing on this video above.